Welcome back to my channel. My name is Niles. Thank you guys for being here. What's up? What's up? What's up? I know everybody is pretty much stuck on Risa Tisa or whatever her name is and her story about who did she marry. But I kind of wanted to chop in on something real quick. So I feel like my generation is going through one of the hardest job markets in the country, and I feel like it's not just my generation, which is that zillennial, so between Gen Z and millennial, which encompasses both of them. But you are seeing older people work now to sustain themselves. You are seeing just unprecedented levels of people trying to survive in the United States of America, and it got me thinking. So if you've visited my channel, I've had kind of two takes on this. One, a personal take of a black male experience of what I've been dealing with in this job market and what I have to face. And then more of a kind of technical analysis in the second video, which was a TikTok that I posted about just the different factors that people face in terms of hiring, like the ATS, company culture, things like that. But something hit me last night, and I decided to kind of just do a bit of a breakdown as to like what is really going on, right? Like, and I decided to look at it from just a market perspective. So I took some notes, and I want you guys to follow along with this, and just see, if you guys can catch up and understand what I'm saying. So the first question I'm going to ask is, number one, why do jobs hire, right? So everyone's looking for a job. Why does a job hire in the first place? Are they supposed to just give you a job? You know what I'm saying? Does the money come out of nowhere? No. Jobs hire, number one, to make money. So it's a business. Somebody creates a business and they need help with that business in some form or fashion. I've written down here 6 reasons for why a job might need help, right? Why they might expand. Number one, new business, sales. So let's say you start a lawn care business and you're the only one with a lawnmower. You need somebody to help cut lawn B, C, D, and E. You're going to hire somebody because you know you have more income coming in, and you also have more business coming in, right? So you have sales. You need to expand the business, reason 2. So not only are you and the second guy cutting lawns, but you're sending out a third guy to go procure more lawns to cut because that's more business. That's expanding the business. 3, safeguarding the business. So let's say you now have 2 employees. You need to have an HR person on staff just to make sure that they're being treated fairly, they're getting their hours clocked and everything is okay, along with legal. So let's say somebody falls and breaks their leg or whatever the case is, you've got a lawyer on staff or at least some legal department or person. And again, mind you, I know we're talking about like lawn care, but this is kind of the idea. You have a legal person on staff who's going to safeguard you. So safeguarding the business, HR, legal, that's the third reason why a business would hire. Fourth, management or investing in the business. So you now have 3, 4 people working for you. You're going to need some kind of accountant, somebody who can take down these numbers and understand why, not why, but how much people are making, what's going on. Can I make sure the numbers are good for tax purposes, and also investing, just saving money in the account, the business account, you've got money coming in. That's the 4th reason why a business would hire. The 5th, customer relations. So now you're on to cutting the whole neighborhood, and you want to make sure the first few people that you had actually started cutting for are still being satisfied the way that you got that business in the first place. That's customer relations, the 5th reason. And a new reason is new technology. Let's say you want to invest in new tech, or you need somebody who understands new technology in the market, people who can run those machines and start to cut faster. You start to develop new technology, right? So that's the 6th reason why a business will hire. That's kind of why a job would hire in the first place. Do you fit into any of those categories? Can you expand the business? Are you safeguarding the business? Are you helping the business to invest? Are you an accountant? Are you somebody who understands technology in that field? Can you expand the business? That's why a job would hire. That's why you would get a job, right? So let's move forward. In a good economy, jobs are constantly expanding, right? Obviously, there's a bit of shrinkage. Sorry, I just bit my tongue. Obviously, there's a bit of shrinkage, but in a good economy, a job is continuing to expand. So it needs more people, whether it's more lawns being cut, whether it's more, HR people, whatever it is. You need that team, right? So let's talk about it. Why would there be layoffs? So what I have written down here is that obviously the first reason is someone sucks at their job. They lied in their resume, they can't cut grass, they cut too slowly, you're not doing it properly. That person is out the water. However, the main reason why a business lays people off or does not hire is because they're not making enough money. They don't have enough business out here to sustain what they have on their staff, and they're going to cut people so that the business can stay viable. Because a business is only a business as long as it can make money. If it is spending more money on its people than it's actually bringing in, it will be in debt, and the owner who started the business will be responsible for that. Correct? Or the business itself, because in a capitalist society, especially here in America, a business is a person. So just the business will go under, not the person. That is kind of why we have layoffs. That's why people are not hiring, right? If we're not meeting growth demands, we're losing money. So what comes first? What gets cut first? The new business people, potentially. Any one of those sectors I mentioned, the six sectors, from new business, expanding the business, safeguarding the business, investing in managing the business, customer relations for the business, and technology, each one of those will get cut because we're not making money, right? So that's kind of the idea right here. Let's back up again. Jobs hire to make money, right? Jobs hire because they need help on staff. They need to bring people in to expand the business. That's why they make money. And in a good economy, jobs are continuing to hire because there's always new business, right? Keep in mind, we're talking about what's going on today. I'm not just giving you a political talk, an econ talk about what's going on hypothetically. We're bringing this back to today, but just follow me through here, right? So, first to go, anybody in those sectors. If you're not doing your job properly, if you're not bringing in income, if you're not valuable to the business from that sense, you are out the door, right? Businesses have no incentives just to keep you and feed you because you have 3 kids and a wife. No. So let's keep moving forward. This is part B, right? In a good, fair market economy, there should be no reason for things to end up at where we are today. Mind you, economy in market analysis, economies grow and economies shrink. But it seems like today, it's 2024, February something 2024, and we have continued to shrink since 2020. It's been 4 years now that this economy has had issues. Now, you will see on CNBC, you'll see Jim Cramer, you'll see all these people telling you, oh, the market's going up today and down today. It almost feels like manic depression because one day you're up, the next day you're down, right? Every day it's, oh, we're great, we're not good. But you realize there's only a certain amount of people who are doing well. Who are they? The people at the top of the businesses, the CEOs, these tech companies. They're the only ones that seem to be doing well. Why is that? Right? I'm not going to get into that because that's corporate greed. There's a whole bunch of other things, right? Markets continue to shrink and expand. It's normal, but we're in a place where we have continued to feel the real hardship of this, right? To where this is almost not real. Continuous shrinking, in my idea, not even in my idea, but when you look at market analysis, continuous shrinking in an economy means that there's a correction going on. What do I mean by that? Essentially, growth either outpaced sales. So a business had forecasted that they were going to do $1 million in sales in the next year, and they hired for all those new positions, but they only did $200,000 in sales. So they're underwater now, and they got to let go of all those people. Shrink, right? Because they're not making the money. There are no new lawns to cut. If they said they were going to cut 10 lawns, they could only cut 2, right? Shrinking. They're not making money. So basically, continuous shrinking means unregulated growth outpaced sales, right? Layoffs is exactly a reason for that, right? No growth, no new hire. Now, that's the basic understanding, right? Another reason for these layoffs and continuous shrinking is greed, right? If the CEO is taking all the money, it's almost pairing to no growth, right? How can a business grow if most of the income is not going to developing the business, it's going to the person at the top? Can't grow. It literally will not grow. You don't have the funds to build out that business as it should, right? So that's another issue. Let's go on to point C. So we realize now that businesses are shrinking. We can just do a little back step real quick. Why do jobs hire? Jobs hire for money. In a good economy, growth expands the business. People continue to get hired. New businesses picked up. The economy continues to cycle. Why are we looking at layoffs? Market shrinking, market size shrinking. People don't have the money to spend on business. Business don't have the money to spend on their employees, and potential of corporate greed. So not only are new hires at risk, so you looking for a job, you can't find a job, right? Because there's no business out here, right? Not only that, but current employees are actually in trouble as well. If you've had that job for 5, 10 years, or you just got that job 2 years ago, what are you doing to make sure you're bringing in new growth? I look at ideas like TikTok, soft quitting or whatever it is, or, people not doing their jobs in light of this, right? So you're doing the bare minimum at your job, which to me, as an employee who's not getting paid properly, fine. But you don't realize that what you're doing is actually risking your position even more, right? They're barely even able to hold on, all right? Who's paying for that service? So that money is dwindling, which means your job is on the line. And I'm not balancing out here what employees should be doing, or I'm not trying to tell you what, how you should move, be the best capitalist in the world, and love your job, come in 7:30 for 8 o'clock shift and leave at 7 p.m. after doors close at 5. But I'm just trying to keep this in perspective here, right? So not only are new hires not getting these jobs, but current employees are at risk. And I kind of want to circle back to something real quick, this idea of tech. We talked about reason 6 in why do jobs hire, new technology being a reason for expanding the business and new jobs being created. When we're at a place in society where we have artificial intelligence, we've got streamlined processes around, so many different business solutions. I think one of the biggest things we have right now in tech is SaaS, or software as a sales solution, or something like that. It's like where you're selling a software to a company to streamline a process. That's what's going on right now, right? And as we move forward, we're going to have so many streamlined processes. You might even have businesses with just 3 people on staff, 4 people, because everything else can be managed by those people. So why would there be new jobs for who if my business is generating 100% income and all I got to do is pay $30, $40 a month to these SaaS solutions? I wouldn't, right? If I can get a AI HR bot, which could run an entire department, or get an AI legal team, I don't need to pay $200,000 to this lawyer to make sure I'm not underwater anymore. So we're coming up on a very interesting point in time, especially in this United States of America. And again, I want to just circle back to this. This is the idea of why you can't get a job today, right? Some things are going to the future, some things we're talking about right now, but I just want you guys to be aware of what I'm discussing, because I'm just kind of like hypothesizing this, right? It's not only that, black employees, are the bottom of the barrel, or whatever the case is, or, during hiring managers, there's bias in technology. There's a reason why we are in this loop in this country, and why we've got to find a way out of this. So let's move on, right? In a democracy, right, like everything that we've been told, especially in high school, if you went to high school here in this country, the idea of the government is to be the, negotiator, the mediator, the person who steps in, the arbitrator, the person who steps in when there's an issue in the market. The government is supposed to, hold up. The government's role is essentially to balance out when there's any instability in the market, right? You're supposed to regulate it, you correct for monopolies, you regulate growth, you check greed, and you make sure, number one, the consumers, who are the backbone of any free market economy, have ample income to spend so that businesses can cycle, people can be hired, and the market moves. If anything you've heard me just say does not make sense, especially thinking about where we are today, you're on point, right? Monopolies. Capital One, Discover, they're going to join forces. For what? Who knows? To really be the evil overlords of all of America. Growth, unregulated growth. Amazon is now bigger than what, USPS? Greed. I'm pretty sure you're aware that corporate greed is at an all-time high right now. And funds. People have no money. And when they look at you and tell you what you're supposed to do and how much you're supposed to have, it's almost like they're trying to punish you. The Republicans will tell you you need to get out there and do it on your own. The Democrats will tell you, oh, we're going to give you these tax cuts, no funding. For nothing. The last funding we got was during COVID. Examples of that, the SBA loans and the stimulus checks, right? SBA loans helped the businesses to stay alive. The stimulus checks helped people to spend the money, right? Now we're in a place 4 years later where everything is stalling, right? Again, remember that monopolies, growth, greed, and funds. This is what the role of an arbitrator, the i.e. our government, is supposed to make sure that we as an American populace, American consumers, are supposed to be doing or able to do to make sure that this market continues to grow. We are in a capitalist economy. These are basic fundamentals of why we should be able to do certain things or how we should be able to do it, right? I don't have the graphs and statistics. This is just basic understanding of what it is. Let's keep moving, right? Part E. We're in a horrible place. We're in a very bad place. The government is not only indebted by trillions of dollars, so they really cannot do anything, like hands are tied. Our economy is slowing, and we're approaching a recession, right? Households have no spending money, right? I don't know about you guys, but I don't know the last time that I've been able just to go out and eat, right? Even my grandmother who has Social Security, right? Don't know the last time she's been able just to go freely and spend money on her nails. We're in a very bad place. So let's kind of like bring it back together. Just want to bring it right back together. I'm sorry, guys, I have notes here because this is kind of just like a thought experiment of why can't you get a job? What's really going on? Is it you? Maybe, right? Let's talk about it. If the business can't grow, they're not going to hire you. If people can't afford the business, either the product, the good, or the service, the business will fail. If the business fails, the economy stalls and the country stops. All right? So let's talk about it. Why can't you get a job? It's not only because, let's say your resume is not up to par or you're not all the way skilled, whatever they're trying to tell you. There are fundamentals to this. Businesses hire because there's growth. If there's no growth, they're not going to hire you. If they can't hire you, you have no money to spend on literally anything, which is a cyclical argument because the business's main goal is to sell to people. And if the people have no money, there's nothing to buy. If there's nothing to buy, the entire cycle stops, right? This is the process. And we're being told, hold out, edit your resume, get new skills. When in reality, the situation is a bit deeper than that. The solution would be help the people. We're not going to go there right now. So let's talk about four possible solutions, right, to what we could do to get out of this. A, encourage incentives for the people. The consumer is the backbone of the free market, and if there's nothing to spend, there is no market, right? B, encourage new business ideas. Tech is the largest sector here by far. All the investments going into tech, which again, like I mentioned, are going to software solutions for new businesses, and maybe, creating new content and shit you could sit home and watch, right? Nothing really developing any sort of or incentivizing new business growth or new money in the economy. Just kind of just like tech. Nvidia is a perfect example. Here are computer chips for new computers. If I can't buy the computer, if I can't get a job with this computer, if this computer, again, but it's not for you. This computer is for other tech companies, right? This computer chip is it's not for you. It's not for your household computer. It's not for my laptop right here, right? So that's B, encourage new business ideas, right? So what are we looking at? Environmental jobs, social jobs, education. So the return on investment from those new businesses goes to building new jobs, encouraging new people. The new generation has more education, knows what's going on. You're investing in the people, right? Not only in tech, okay? Or jails, because we know that corporate, what is it? Mass incarceration is another large industry, or war, right? Those three. So tech, mass incarceration, and war. America's milk and honey, right? That's what keeps America running. But instead of that, if we focus on encouraging new business ideas in the people, social programs, fixing our roads, creating maybe a train line that connects the country, whatever it is, right? You're doing something that encourages new growth and will also have a larger return on investment than a jail cell, a computer chip for a business, or blowing up another part of the world, right? Okay. C, address government inaction and inability. This is another possible solution. We got to think about how we got here, right? If we are supposed to be led by these people who are supposed to have our best interests at heart, either they're dumb, they are not doing what they're supposed to be doing, which is making sure that the next generation is secure, or there's something malicious going on, right? And I'm not going to hypothesize about Illuminati, New World Order, none of that nonsense, but I'm just giving you the ideas, right? We have got to address what's going on in government, because if the government's role is to step in and make sure that we don't end up in this position, how the hell did we get here in the first place? They are messing it up, or they're messing their job up, right? They've got their job gone, and we can get into actually what's going on there, right? We have what is it called? Lobbying, where businesses come in and give money for tax incentive, tax cuts, all these things that basically help the CEO in the business, right? I'm not going to get into that today, but the idea is part C, a possible solution. What you doing, bro? Possible solution is addressing the inability and whatever the fuck is going on in the government right now. Part D, the last possible solution, is restart the market. I'm not talking socialism, I'm not talking communism, I'm literally talking restart the market. That is the only way that, again, the fourth solution that I could see to get out of where we are right now. We've come to a place where people have no money to spend. Businesses have no one to sell to, except for the rich. And the government is not doing what they're supposed to do to mitigate this issue. Restart the market. All right? How that looks? Do we give money to people? Do we create new businesses? Do we redistribute wealth? There's a lot that we can talk about. I'm not going to get into it, but restart the market. So, in conclusion, as I wrap up this video, it's not that jobs owe you anything. They don't, right? Businesses do not. Do you need to do better on your resume? Probably. Do you need to get more skills? You probably do. But at the same time, should it be easier to get a job? Yeah. Should there be jobs available for people? Of course. whether or not you're a blue skilled, white skilled, any kind of worker you are. It's not on that. The idea is that businesses hire because there is money to make. If there's no money to make, businesses are not hiring. We don't need you, right? If people can't spend, i.e., buying what the business is selling, the market stalls. There is a cyclical argument to all of this that needs to be played here, because we're talking about, oh, it's the employees, they're lazy, it's Gen Z, it's corporate greed, it's a lot. It's a lot going on. So why can't you get a job? Because there's no business out here, because there's no money out here. And even if it is, corporate greed is taking it all. Anyway, so like I said, I posted 2 videos about one about my experience, one more the technical analysis of, as an employee, a black employee, it's harder to get a job. But there's something more sinister going on out here, and it's not just you're not able to. There's something going on, and the fact is, we're in a very bad place as a country. And I'm gonna run down the 4 solutions that I came up with again. Encourage incentives for the people. Give people money to spend. B, new business ideas, so that return on investment goes into the people, and that we continue to fund new ideas for continuous growth in this market. C, address the government inability to do what it's supposed to be doing, i.e., stopping corporate greed, making sure people have money to spend, and correcting the ills of the market. And D, restarting the market. All right, y'all. Thanks for tuning in. I'll see y'all next time. Later.